Welcome, welcome. What was loud? When I slammed the door? Said something was loud. Probably I let the dog in because the dog was just sitting there waiting to go in and stuff. What is up, Simulator Sunday? Toolan, you got your flag flying today? I got my flag out in front of the house because it is December 7th, Pearl Harbor Day. Never forget. We were working Malabar last week. Oh, the train was loud? Yeah, it can be loud, especially if you got your headphones on like full blast. Oh my sound should be good. I shouldn't be too loud. But yeah, that horn, the damn horn, when I recorded that, and that was the level of the game, but really loud. So again, we're in ATSF Malabar, where we were last week. We pretty much cleared the majority of the yard. These spent 7 days, so everything's been processed. But we left some others behind because, you know, I work on Sundays on the railroad. I don't work on any other day. So the last thing we did, let's fly over here around the corner. Beep, boop, beep, boop. We dropped these guys off over here. And I hear choo-choos running over here somewhere. Probably these guys. Okay, so I'm going to relinquish what I have. And then we're going to turn these off. Put a handbrake on. And the reason is because... Oh, no. Yeah, I've clicked it too many times. Let's see if I relinquish. Just shut down. There we go. So we have the single here that we were running last week. Because we don't need all this. That's a lot of locomotive. We don't need it all. Or, you know, a couple of cars. So we're going to go deliver these now. If you look here, I got some in front, some in back. And that's because, if you do recall, here in Malabar, we have some... so we're right here in the yard right here, and we're going to go this way. So not cars are, you know, they're right on the other side here. So those are not cars there. So if you look here, that's not. But then we have to shove Matthew, Paul, and Sons into here. And then the SRS cars got to shove. And then as we continue down to here, we got to go, and there's nothing there. But then we got to kind of push these back in, and we got to shove in those. So I got cars on both sides. So let's check out how I'm going to do it. I did a Dutch drop when I picked them up before, which is where we get going, slam on the brakes, then haul ass, and then the cars kind of roll by after the engine gets off the switch. So you can see a video here. Weird, like, you know, YouTube, my channel is like, as I do these every week, they're there for you to view later as well. Not just right now live, like Twitch does. I mean, Twitch used to be you can leave them there for a long time, and then, you know, we just do all this again just so that we are not having any problems. Yeah, Twitch made it so you can't really hold too many some old deals that you used to be able to do. I'm gonna turn off the headlights. We don't need them. All right, so I'm gonna take. I'm going to take off the handbrakes of all these cars. I want to make sure my angle cock is closed here. I'm going to push them all forward a little bit. Yeah, I am going downhill, so it shouldn't take too much. Once I pass this switchola right there, you can see the two the ties right here. That's where the switch is. See on the other side, the gas tank? Right back there. Right back yonder. So as soon as I pass that, right, 3, 2, now. Got another rocket launch here at SpaceX. Oh, it's in Florida. We had one here a couple hours ago here in California, but from where I'm at here, like Riverside, San Bernardino, most of them fly like straight out over the ocean towards San Diego, so I don't really see them flying at above me. There's been a few, but not as many as I've looked at like the last 7 launches, and only one of them kind of went over the top, which was cool. All right, so we're gonna kiss this one here. And remove all the handbrakes. This should all roll forward towards us. But we have our switch here. The next, so we got to drop off this map car right here. We're gonna dump that off down the way a little bit. So we're gonna ride the front here. She said. Sonny Scott, what's up, man? Yeah, you talking about the rocket? It's not very loud at all when it goes over. It's, you know, 120 miles or something by the time it goes over the top. Well, it takes off at Vandenberg Air Force Base in California, which is, you know, like an hour north of LA. And I'm about an hour southeast of LA, in the Inland Empire. So by the time it takes off, it, you know, rocket speed flies over the top. Yeah, you would think you can't hear it though. You don't hear nothing. It's like you can't hear planes at, you know, 35,000 feet as they're flying over, 32, 35,000 feet. You only hear them taking off from, like you hear the Amazons taking off from, it used to be Norton Airfield. It's now San Bernardino Airport. And we have Ontario down the way a little bit past West Colton. What's up? So let's see, River Cat Outdoor. I know who this is. The name is throwing me off though. I think you changed your name again. Yeah, you guys change your Twitch names all the time. I can't keep up. Okay, Ghost. Yeah, I knew it was someone. Okay, so here's what I got to do. I got to get these cars. There's 2 cars, SRS. I got to get them past. So I'm going to kick them. One would hope. See if they roll downhill. They should. Okay, we got a successful break off there. And don't worry, we'll come back and get it. We're gonna put a halt on this guy. So I just need to pass that. I'll put the parking brake on again. Put it on 2 times. Hopefully I didn't block the intersection, but I may have. And I did throw that switch. So next, I'm going to kick this guy into location. I'm going to give it 1 notch here to be able to control this. And then I'm going to put a handbrake right in about 3, 2 now. It might touch the bumper, but I don't think it will, so it did not. We're good. Our switch has been realigned, so we're going to come pick up this guy here. SRS is our next. Go. Did you check? No, that's the same YouTube name you had, right? There's so many people that come in here and every week they got a different name. I think yours looked familiar to me. At least the logo did. So maybe that's what it was. Anyways, hope you're doing well. All right, we'll take that handbrake off. And we're going to run down here, literally. Prepare. Okay, we're not going to run down there anymore. All right, so I'm getting 12 miles an hour. Slow her down here a bit. And SRS right here. You can see. We'll let it go onto the back thing there. Whatever that's called. Against the ramps. No rhyme or whistle to the whistle. $13. I'm gonna put on a little dynamic brake after my 10 seconds here. I'll try to get that. All right, we got it. We're on the cab, and doing 14. I'm gonna go ahead and kill her right there. I want to keep braking it. Now we're going to jump off the ground. We got to watch these because going at a little bit of a pace here. We're 4.8 miles an hour on our train, and these guys be able to put a handbrake on here shortly. Gotta make sure I clear this other track before I do that. Now I'll be able to load on the dock and they can do whatever they need to do. So ASL, these are going to the end. So ahead of us are HPC, SLS, and ASL. If we look at the map here, you can see down here, these are this sets of tracks right here. And so on the map, it's these guys. So we're gonna go past back. Well, actually, I think we have SLS on the very back. So we'll have to go past and, you know, figure all that out. The fun part of running locals for me. Who needs a bite from Denny's right there? You got Denny's and then a motel called Deserted Wings. Where is this? Malabar. What city is Malabar in? I mean, I know it's LA, but Artesia. Artesia? Vernon. That's what I was looking for. Do I have any road train you can bring to LAC, you mean? I don't know. You talking about from Barstow? I have I have not been looking at the cars at Barstow, especially with between, you know, Chris stepping down and whoever took over Barstow. I haven't really paid attention to the supply trains because we're in December now, so we've already started. Usually December 1st we start the cleanup, as you know, but I'm explaining this for everybody else. So in December we pretty much turn supply trains off. Now if there's any there in Barstow, they haven't made it down. I don't know because I didn't go look, but we want to clear all the trains off the server. So if they're in Barstow waiting to come down, I don't know if it'd be LAC or no. So I have a bunch of yards. I have Porphyry, La Mirada, Malabar, 3 at LAJ, actually 4, A, B, C, and LA West. So that's 5 yards. Do I have supply trains in Barstow? Again, I don't know, but we need to process all trains. So if the Barstow need to come down, get dropped off. Again, I know that Ghost knows this. I'm just saying this for everybody else, how this works. Once those trains are brought down, then we'll jump off here. Then we're going to process them. Hello, BNSF 556. And then after they get processed, we're going to put them back together in road trains and send them to wherever they need to go. They got to go back to Barstow, they do. The whole idea of the December month cleanup, we're going to remove all the trains off the Mateo community server. We'll leave some engines in Barstow, but pretty much everything else is going to get sent off map. And that way, when January 1st comes, we turn the supply trains on again and start a whole new year. When we first started this thing, I came in a few months after the server was stood up and just started going. But they didn't do that. And, you know, some yards way out yonder would sit there for a long time, and they didn't have a lot of action going on. So this was a way to just get the server cleaned up and you know, have some fun with it. All right, even though this doesn't matter, I didn't mean to place that. What did I place? Place a red flag? I wanted to place a fuse here. There we go. Put a fusee down. I don't think I put a flag. Maybe I did. Maybe it's under the train. I don't see it. Oh, here it is. But we're not too worried about these cars. I mean, they're going to get run over, but it won't stop even if the train's in the middle of the road. They stupid. Oh, so if you get a new PC, by the way, when you go to migrate your Run 8, you don't have to reinstall everything. Just take your C Run 8 Studios directory and copy it onto your new... I hate when it does that. See, it's only a multiplayer thing where it rehooks. It's because of network lag. It's like always the second time it works. It's like once it knows what you're trying to do, it will work, but it's a pretty good view right there. So yeah, when you I'm sure it'll cost you $3,000 at least. Video card alone these days are expensive. few years ago, I built them myself. But are you getting a pre-made one, or are you doing it yourself? All right. I didn't look over here. There should be no cars here. There's not. Now, I can't kick these from way over here. They'll have to drive them in. So you're going to Micro Center, so you're gonna have them build it for you, or are you just getting the parts and doing it yourself? Because I build my own. I'm an IT guy for 30 years. It would be embarrassing if I paid somebody to build my computer. That's me though. So HPC are the last ones over here. Yeah, you get a good warranty and stuff. Micro Center's good stuff. Yeah. Like I said, I mean, for me, because I'm, you know, been in IT forever. If I had somebody build my computer, I couldn't even look myself in the mirror. So you're running 2 PCs for you? What's the reason you're running 2? One for gaming kind of thing? I have computers all over my house, as you can imagine, and I have this one, which is I do everything on: stream, game, everything else. Got a couple laptops, MacBooks. Of course, I'm running virtual servers on. It's crazy. It's crazy. The one I run virtual servers on is down away from me right now. It's a full-blown, like you would call it, like a gaming PC, but the software I run on it called Proxmox, and from there I run multiple Windows installations. Well, Merry Christmas. You deserve a new one, Ghost. I probably, maybe towards the end of 26. I don't know. This one's a 10700K in it, so it's getting a little older. I got a 3080 Ti in it, which for this runs fine. All right. Audio Detroit. So you want to know what the best... Hold on, let me make sure I'm in the deals here. I mean, it depends what you like, right? So it's not a... The answer isn't really that simple. If you like to do this kind of work that I'm doing now, if you like to run yards, you know, work in yards, run locals, sort cars, classify and all that, then this is the San Bernardino sub. And right now I got it zoomed in. With a 3060 in it, yeah. So this is the San Bernardino sub, and for BNSF, you can see here, so I have, all these are my yards, by the way, that I'm in charge of. So I got L8C, L8J, there's 4 locals that run out of that. D would come off here. So you have 4 yards, and you got La Mirada, there's 4 locals that run out of that, so that's already 8 locals. You got Porphyry, it runs 2 locals. And then you can build trains for intermodal traffic on the way up. So There's also Malabar, what I'm working on now, which if you go down here, it shows up over here. Malabar has 2 locals out of it. So you got 2, 4, or 2, 6. I don't know. I just didn't do 4, 4, which is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So if you like doing locals, there's 12 locals in the San Bernardino sub just for BNSF. And then you got UP as well. Now, if you only were to get that one, then you couldn't drive, which is fine unless you like road trains. You could not drive. Let me see. So here's Barstow, which comes part of the main game, the main simulator. Here's the Mojave subdivision, which is part of the main simulator. You can go all the way up to Bakersfield, back to Barstow, and that's it. UP, BNSF. There's not a whole lot of locals out of here. There's only a couple out of Bakersfield that you can hit to that are east of Bakersfield. And it's mostly for road running. There are some small yards. Where are we at? So there's Mojave. So you got the Mojave yard. So you can run Pronas as what do you call it? A DLC. So you couldn't do that by itself. You can go all the way to pretty much that's it. It's just like road trains. There's some Edwards Air Force Base stuff over here. Okay, so if you have the routes, you already have the routes. So routes give you choices of what to do. The cars, the car packs, engine packs, they, more specifically the car packs, they give you the ability to see what those cars are, but they don't change the function of the game because they just say run 8 cars. And so I always say go with routes first. Get the routes that you want to do first, depending on what you want to do. And then from there, then you got to decide, as you're asking, what do I want to do next? You know, so I don't have all the engine packs. I don't have tunnel motors because I just don't see that I need them. Let me try to get outside here. You ride the front here. So I don't have all the, I have almost everything, including the routes. I don't think there is a route that I'm missing. But as far as the car packs, what I would do there, again, it depends. If you like road trains, then, I mean, we already get the SDs and the GEVOs as part of the main game. So you can get -9s if you're interested in running those as locomotive, like main in the locomotive. If you use them as DPs like I usually do, then you don't really need them because you're not really running them other than using them for engine horsepower and brake power. So I would look at your mixed freight car, your mixed car packs. If you're interested in doing locals, mixed freight is where you want to go with all the local stuff, coil cars, all that stuff. After that, then look at intermodal. If you like working the bigger yards at intermodal yards. Definitely maybe a couple, like whatever your flavor, your favorite flavor of of the railroad that you like. I was a UP guy before. I thought, I mean, I don't really care what color the engine is, but I was running the UP stuff before I became a yard master for Mateo. And then I was asked to take over for BNSF as a yard master because we only had the Barstow guy. And so, you know, I got the SD40 TAC 2 packs for BNSF and UP actually. So I have all 4 of those and the 45s. So I have the SD40s and SD45s. I have the 38s, I believe. I don't know how many of them. So all the little yard engines, because that's what I do mostly. I don't need to worry about the Heritage. I do have a Heritage pack for the locomotives, but I don't run them. I don't necessarily spend a lot of time running road trains, so I don't. But just space it out over time. You know, you got $20 every week. You spend $20. You'll have everything pretty soon. That's kind of how I did it. I could have bought everything at once if I chose to, but I was like, why? You know, I'll just see how I like it. And then over time, bought a couple like car packs here, and then the engine packs are $10 or $20, whatever. So I'll get one of these. I have the Amtrak ones, even though I never run Amtrak. Like I said, I believe the only thing I'm missing are the tunnel motors. But nowadays they're running wide bodies anyways, you know, on the pull this in here. So after we get done dropping these two off, by the way, we're going to leave. I don't know if you are on a multiplayer server. The depotserver.com, by the way, is an excellent resource for everything Run 8 free. You don't have to join them as like you want to go on multiplayer and all that. You kind of need to know what you're doing if you were to choose to do that. So I would recommend, you know, a server that allows you to learn a little bit more, like here, the Mateo Community Run 8 server. Now we do a skills check, but I do have videos on what we're expecting you to know, the basics. Let me relinquish this guy. And we're going to fly back to Malabar. We're going to leave this here because now those have to process. Did I put... yeah, I put the brakes on. We're going to fly back over to the yard. We're going to start picking stuff up. So everything from not this way is ready to be picked up. So I have basically I'm going to be, we're just going to grab these here. And I'll tell you why. Because everything that we're going to pick up here today, this local here, this Y-LAC0222, this was a job that the depot had created, and so we mirrored it here on Mateo. And these locomotives are the transfer local. The 2042 takes cars that come back into the yard, and then they run them back over here to this is LAJ. This is the A yard. Yeah, the resources on the depots you got to pay attention to. Like I said, I got videos on Check Ride version 2 here on this channel for the Mateo community server. If you study that and then schedule, yesterday we did our only check rides for December because the next one would have been on Christmas. So we will be accepting check ride requests in January, the first Saturday of January and the third Saturday of January. So you got plenty of time to study. All we're looking for is you not to, bang the trains so hard together that stuff breaks and because the server will crash. So if you can move some stuff around and you get the basics of train handling and safety, that's all we're looking for you to do. You don't need to know like where all the trains and stuff go unless you're a yard master, because we set up the trains for you. You can't spawn anything as just a player in here. So this is the LAJC yard. This is where the transfer service terminates. And the reason it terminates here is because you come off the main, you can pull right in and around from here, but you can't do that off CP Riddle that takes you over to the A yard, because that you have to be going this direction to get there. There's the LAJ C yard. I have a job that allows you to put together these trains and send them wherever you want. So basically, you send them to other intermodal yards. And those empty bear tables are stored down here. But when you run out of cars in the yard, I got to look and see. So I got to get these processed. So here's some basically a rack of bear tables that you can come and get and bring them over to LAC. And then it will process and it will tell you where they're going. You just have to put locomotives on the front of them and match them together in this kind of the same area. So if one's going to Phoenix and another one's going to Galveston, Texas, you run that as a train, you know, as long as it's long enough, as long as it's over 6,000 feet, 7,000 feet, you can, you know, run that down to as a train. You just do, you know, you do it as a like a Z train or a Q train or a P train or a double stack train, which is S, and you say, yeah, you and sheep take them all, right? No, that's fine. You guys, that's what they're there for. You do whatever. It's fun building them. I've done them a couple hundred times, so you know the luster comes out of doing it, of just building them and then putting trains on them and AIing them out. You know, this one's going to Albuquerque, New Mexico. You put this one, it's like pretty much ready to go. This whole thing's going to ABQ. So if you were to put, depends, if with AI's driving it, they don't need DPUs, but I usually do anyways. That's how they do it in real life. They usually put them in the middle though. So I would do like 3 engines on the, or 2 for sure, maybe 3, depends on the weight. Put 3 on front. And then well, I'd see where it is with 2, and I'd have one third one standing by. And then I would do, you know, LIC ABQ, probably do it as a, mostly a double stack. So I do it as an S train. I don't think it has to be a Z. And then I would, you know, pull through most of this right out and down on the lead here. I'd pull it down on the lead to the signal, give me enough room to be able to cut it somewhere, and then put the end of it over here. I'd be able to like put a locomotive in the middle of it, and then back up and pick the rest up. And we only got 2 over here right now, and they're facing the wrong way. So need some more locomotives over here to be able to get stuff done. So let's put a couple here right now. So this is what normal players can't do. Only yard masters have this ability. I'll put a couple aces in there. We'll put a couple -9s in there, and then some ESs for that. MP15. Here we go. About 16, and I'll just, you can't, I wish you can do the random order stuff. Can't on here. So we'll do that. And let's see, something like that. Do this. We can place this right here. Might be too long. That's good. And then I can't do the tags, I don't think, because I already have my train. So let's see, relinquish, grab these. Now there's locomotives. And also with cars, you can You can select them all, but I don't think locomotives allow you to do that, do they? Yeah, maybe. No, see, they don't. Giovanni, hello. Welcome back. ¿Cómo estás? Yeah, I don't know if there's no locomotives there, if nobody tells me. But you could also go down and pick them up out of the fuel yard just down the way if I wasn't able to get those here today. But we got some there, but then we go down here to Commerce, which is the back door in the LAJ yard as well. There's probably you got some heritage units that were repaired here. So these have been repaired. These are ready to go. Those are the movers for the rip yard. A lot of times they'll come in dead. And they got some yard power here, but no, you don't got any wide bodies, no road power. So there's a whole lot to do here in San Bernardino sub. And then we only explored BNSF. If you want to go UP, the first yard's right here. It's an intermodal yard. And there's all kinds of stuff to do. The rail driver is a lot easier. That's what I use as well. Rail driver is night and day. When I first got Run 8, I didn't play it for about, I played around with it for a minute. And then I was like, you know what? No, I'm going to go, like the first day I started playing it, I went and said, no, I need a rail driver. So I got one. Never looked back. Okay. So we left the other train turned off. We're at the end of the line there. Now we're going to start collecting cars. Yeah, the only thing with the rail driver that can be a pain is this guy right here, the throttle. Like you see, I pull down just a little bit and I set there just so I have a little bit of play. And then all the way down to the bottom, and I'll go all the way down to the bottom. I push up just a little bit, so I just have some play. But it likes to shift between the, between the notch 1. Oh, actually, I didn't need to go all the way back there. Between notch 1 and 2, 3, like it's real sensitive between those notches. All right, I'm going to get the yard ready. We're going to bring everything down on this track. I want to put the full ones here and the potential empty ones here. If there's any San Diego cars in there, I'm going to have to sort them out. Because San Diego from here is just, not as far as Barstow. Well, 5080 graphics card run good on Run 8. I'm using a 3080 Ti, so Run 8 doesn't require a whole lot. Yeah, I calibrate mine all the time when it starts doing fishy things. I mean, if you're paying attention, I always run this up here too. You don't have to, but because the rail driver tells me what notch and how fast I'm going, but I'm always looking at all the information up here, and then I cycle it too, But this is like, I'm using the default settings of the rail driver. I don't think there's anything on here that I've customized. It's just whatever the settings are, the buttons on them. That's the ones I use. I gotta catch up and get on the front again. I can. All right, now we're up on the on the nose. We're gonna pick up these wet cars, and then O'Reilly. This is what we ended last week with. It doesn't matter if I go straight or I turn around on it. Could only be those 4, so put those 4 in here and then back up, or even in here I can get them, come around and go grab those guys. As long as none of them say San Diego, you don't have to worry about them. We're gonna get these. What we gotta do is set this second switch up here. Yeah, you can use the rail driver to run and all that, but see, I turn while I'm running, and so the rail driver doesn't, just goes left to right. Doesn't do that. I use the keyboard and mouse when I switch back and forth between the keyboard and mouse, like I'm doing now. I can hold the mouse and turn around and look. So let's buckle the, oh, these are already from when I dropped them off last week. Leave the handbrake on till we couple up. I'm gonna make sure it's on there. Came in just a little light. So I'm gonna try to put them on this track. Actually, it doesn't matter. Suppose. Doesn't really matter at all where they go. It doesn't matter if I don't have any speed to put them where they need to go. Got to drive over this one, so we'll set the switch right. You can actually drive over them set like that, but don't want to. Ring switches, you break them. We only need to go to. Got 2 cars remaining to the switch. Do that. Try that on Train Sim World, where you just passed it. Doesn't work. Trust me. Also, I've never been able to successfully kick. All we need to do is just get past. The way I approach this, by the way, is I'm, you know, the engineer, but I'm wearing the backpack like they do, the little remote control box like they do in the yard. You can find videos of me actually working with others. Okay. Right now, that's the front. Now we'll go pick up these guys and take them back to the yard. So get ready to use dynamics. We don't have very much weight at all, so we can use independents. We definitely aren't going to air them up though. HPT is 42.1. 171 tons. There's a San Diego car in here. Do you see it? Second one. We're going to have to get that out of there. Now we separate the San Diego cars so that when they go in the yard, there's just a cut of San Diego's, because they'll go to the LAJ yard together with San Diego cars from there, and then to the La Mirada yard with the San Diego cars there, and from there they just go to San Diego. They don't got to go all the way back to Barstow. In the old days, we used to just run them all the way up to Barstow, but then, you know, they were doing cuts of San Diego cars, and like, why is it going 4 hours one direction to come back 4 hours go the other way? It doesn't make sense. Should have, and I'll do that now. We'll put a handbrake on here. We just want to get the San Diego out. Too much brakes too quick. And I forgot to set that switch back there to not go around. We need to make sure that this clears. Uh-oh. I didn't throw the switch. Ooh. Oh, yeah. Pull forward. I can set that handbrake now. Missed a stupid switch. Grand Sim World would have failed you for that. Go over here. Let's throw this switch so we can just pull straight out. We don't got to. I already threw that one down there. I got to go another wheel. There we go. Now we're coupled up. Let's pull forward. I'll pick up San Diego car and then head in the yard. And I'll leave the San Diego. Well, actually, I can kick it down the line. These are all empty. There's no weight on them, so you get go like 100 miles an hour and slam on the brakes. Just kidding. So some people choose to take all the cars mixed back to the yard, and then often they leave them for somebody else to sort them out, which just sucks for everybody. It's like, just do it like I'm doing it now, or, you know, don't bother. Because it just, if you take them to the yard and then you do them there yourself, it takes 5 times as long to sort through everything at the yard. Which, if that's how you want to do it, that's fine, as long as you're doing it. But if you leave it for somebody else, you're like, oh, I ran out of time. I didn't do it. Well, now we have to spend the time doing that, and it really sucks for us. But we'll be coming around the corner. Okay, that was yellow, right? Yep. I'm gonna come over here. I'm gonna come back and get this. So that one has a load in it, about half full. This is yellowish orange, and then those are empty. So, and the locomotive is on this side. I'm gonna push them back here, but I'll be on the back end of it. So I'm gonna do this. Funny guy over there, flashing his lights. Now, I believe all the tankers are full too. We're going to go get those next. They don't do the same horn cycle in the locals. I noticed. Watch a bunch of YouTube videos. Sometimes on the bigger streets they do. I'm gonna leave this. I've heard this one before. Why don't pirates make good life cards? Don't remember. Hit me. I don't know CPR. Dad joke Sundays. Okay, so I need to San Diego. I'm gonna put it on the far rail, I hope. Now we're going to get this loaded car off. And then we'll deal with that guy in a little bit. Then we'd be standing out there at the fusee and stuff. I'm gonna let that go down a little ways before I put the parking brake on it. So I have basically a heavy car with a bunch of empties. Now if I pull this whole stack out like this, then they're gonna be mixed, and when the human were to try to take that up to up the Cajon Pass, and it would be miserable because, you know, it would be too wild. So I'm going to strip this one out of here, put it on this side. So no cars get cute. Come on, come off, peel off, peel off, peel off, peel off. So now this is a loaded car on that side. That's which way the locomotive is going to be, where the power is going to be. So we take these empties and we'll put them right up against this and then take them all to the yard. We're going to go with some Earl tankers next. Trying to go home on Sunday here and you're stuck at my crossing, I apologize, but look, there's nobody here. Everybody's off. I messed up that one. I need another wheel's worth. That's it. Pushing backwards uphill, so it'll start slowing down. I'm looking at my speed here. I want to make sure it's not going too fast when I couple. Around 3 range. Perfect. Perfecto. Okay. Go ahead and take her back. I didn't get on the... Yeah, that's fine. I should have already had my switch set, which is this path here. It's the one I want. Well, 11 miles an hour, it should be good. Don't get going too fast. All right, we're gonna leave that switch there. And then we'll go down on this side. Actually, you know what? We need to back up. Because there's the loaded car and I'm gonna bring that back some. We'll call that good right there. We'll stop that there. Put 2 handbrakes on. They're empty and they're not going to go very far. I'm going to pick these guys up here and push them back too, where they need to go. We're good there. Go through this one. They're just sitting in the yard, and we're collecting with the other one. So these are the local. There are the locals for this, but we're using the transfer locomotives. Getting some time in on those too. Somebody running dynos over here, probably Alhambra. AI train, LAX. Now I'm going to push these dead, but then I'll suppose if I was on the other side of them, I could have pulled them and pushed them, but once we connect, be able to start one of them up. like the way I did this. Now I'm thinking about it. Yeah, some of them are good though. Some of those jokes are really good. Any of them are bad. Like, what do you call a bad joke? It's a dad joke. What do you call a good joke? Just a joke. So we'll get to right here, and then we'll start these guys up. Disconnect them and pull them off. Suppose I can just unhook it. There we go, and then I can relinquish. This one should still be off, so. What about the whistle board? Oh, the answer to his question. I didn't see it. You're on the main line running. How do you know when the crossing is coming? Yeah, they'll be like right here. Sometimes they'll have an X on it, but usually it's W for whistle. The newer ones are W. The older ones are, I'm sorry, the newer ones, I don't know. I don't know if the newer one's X or not. You can either have an X for a crossing or a W for a whistle, but either way, nearly every crossing has a whistle board. Let's see. So these guys should be empty here, so I'm going to come get them first. Let's turn off that guy. Relinquish. Then we're going to make this the, oh, it already is. Every time I relinquish and regrab, I just automatically do the auto MU and stuff. Also, if you go to, what are we looking at there? that get on ATSF? We go here to the depot, and where's their? I suppose it's up here now. So if you go to downloads, they used to have like little things up there that you could look at. So if you go there to the 3 lines, the hamburger they call that thing, and then downloads, you're gonna find signal rules, and then click on whichever railroad you're thinking about. I'm BNSF. So you bring this up, this will tell you also what most of the signs are on the side of the road and what the signals mean. So, you know, depending on the aspect, it's called the position of where the lights are, that is what you need to do and what it means. And then a bunch of the, like these speed signs here. There's a permanent speed restricting sign, and if they're at an angle, that means in 1 mile you're gonna have that speed where it's permanent. And then of course the green rectangles that are like this, they're elongated, that means that you're clear to go back to track speed. Go get our cars over here. All right, let's take a look at what we got here. These are all empties because they're green. Green means empty, and yellow up to red means that they're loaded, depending on how much. The more loaded they are, the more red they are. The less, the more yellow, you know, yellow, orange, red. Couple 0.9 is the nice coupling speed. You really want to be around 1 mile an hour, not too much lower than that, because otherwise the knuckles may not lock. So I try to hit between 1 and 2 if I'm paying attention. Definitely not more than, so if you're more than 5, you're hitting it too hard. But you won't cause any damage unless it's more than 7. But you still don't want to hit it at 7 if you can avoid it. No San Diego's in here. We are good to take all these the way they are. They're empties. So based on the next cars we're going to get, they're going to be full. Could be anyways. As I cleared this, get back on the lead here, we'll go look. You're just too far away to turn that. Okay, so that switch is set. That switch is straight. Okay, so these are going to West Colton. So in essence, they would go all the way to Barstow, even though West Colton's kind of on the way, just because there's no direct cutoff from BNSF. You'd have to go past and then back up to get to West Colton. So, but it would be like a customer transfer. There is a transfer track. Again, it would be, you could dump it off right at before you, like right as you enter the Cajon, the last of the riverside sidings, before you go towards the Cajon stretch, there's a little one you can dump it off there, and then somebody would have to take it over West Colton from there. But we just send it to Barstow because that's not abnormal. Send these tankers. They get processed and go to. Usually they go to on map locations because we've kind of customized it that way. Okay, so we're 8. I'm going to want to slow that down. Now we're under 5, so now we're good. Have no brakes at all. We're just using momentum, inertia. We got what we need, so let's get out of here. We'll take these back to the yard. Now we're going right through here, and we don't no longer need that one. We could put them on this one because there's this boxcar right here. That's a load, and I would use that in any other loaded cars that we have around here. I think these are all going to be empty. Those haven't been processed. See where we're at. Here. Yeah, so everything's going to go out light except for those. So I would use that boxcar as a that's full as a buffer car because it's, you know, gas, the toxic gas. These haven't been processed because I dropped those here at the beginning. And that's it. Those will process empty. So essentially, everything's going to be empty out of here. So we're going to go down here now. We're going to take him now. We're going to do the transfer service right now. I know I have, well, no, because I don't have all the cars here yet. Or do I? Yeah, I do. We're flying downhill here, so Okay, so we have these. That's good. I think we're going to end up taking everything that we need. What we got here? Okay, so that's the tankers. Oh, there was a San Diego right there. Nothing else is going to be full though, so let's get this San Diego car here. I'm going to put it on the back of this. I missed. I guess I threw that switch and I didn't think I did, but I must have. I know I reached down and threw that switch, but it was already set. Well, those are good. We're going to get this guy. We're going to put it on the back of the empties. Or maybe we should just leave it on the full side. Take it down there with us. And we're going to go get those next. Okay, so coming through here, we're going to go this way. See, I always look at how the switches are lined up as well. Like I'll stand there and look at the rails. Well, you don't have to just go by the color. You can look at, you can see where the wheels are going to go. clear a switch, we'll reverse. We're gonna go get that guy down here. Our buffer car. We're going to put that buffer car in here. And then move this over one. Okay, it's lined up. Hot there, so we'll put the handbrake on and go down quite a lot. Now let's go get we have to go get the cars down here. We got a Dutch drop coming. I used the I didn't do it right. Okay, so I'm going through there. Locomotive should go through there. Make sure the handbrake's off or this will be a problem. All right, that was a pretty good one. Dutch drop. Now that's going downhill, so we just shouldn't be a problem. We'll beat it though, I think. Now I'll put a coupler or throw a handbrake on it. Yeah, that was good. You know, it wasn't hard or anything either. That's what you know, kind of made it nice. Is it was. I didn't do anything tricky. You know, just timed everything right. Got lucky. I'm going to put a handbrake on there. You know, it should come to a nice stop, even if it, which it did, completely stop, no problem. I can take the handbrake off now because it should, if it rolls, it should only go that way, but it's not. Yeah, they do that in real life. I know, but it's called a Dutch drop. Like they do it for real. I didn't give myself I had plenty of room the first time, but I threw on the independent too soon, too much, and got kind of discombobulated, so it didn't work out perfect. I had to redo it a second time. That's okay. You don't get it right the first time, come back, do it again. Okay, so now I have the San Diego cars here on the locomotive side, which is what I wanted to do. That way we have them all separated. I'm going to pick up these guys, and then we're going to go pick up the ones that are over here, the ANT cars. There are two that I dropped off earlier. They're not processed yet, but we'll, quote, process them. I heard you answer that before. I don't remember. They're probably the first ones to do it or something, like on American railroads. Dutch workers. Okay, so now we have all of our cars out of here. We have to go get the ANT ones. They're right over here. So these ones, there's a San Diego there, so I'll have to get that one off by itself. This one, let's see, can empty it, and then doesn't really matter where they go. Let's see. These are going to be empty. And these are going to Stowe as well. Stato. Stockton. There they go. So those are all empty. We'll have to get that San Diego off. Not a problem. So for the time that we delivered in the beginning, if all we were doing is picking up, we would basically be done, ready to transfer these over, and I might still have enough time to go get them and start the process to get over there. I was just going to take all these over there and get them, but I don't got it. All right here already. Let's just dump them off with these unloads. Plenty of plaque space, whatever the hell that means. Plenty of track space. Couple are rebuckled. All right, we're going to go back around the corner and get those A&T cars. That's what I did here. I gave myself the San Diego cars. There's one over there, so I made up the San Diego to San Diego and then grabbed the rest of them. Bring them right back here. And I am slightly speeding, but it's Sunday. Nobody's here. I mean, you can get away about 2 miles over the speed limit. Nobody really, unless something happens. Something happens, they'll blame whatever. Always your fault if something happens. And then you gotta go take a piss test. Want that first switch. That'll put me on the San Diego car. Oh no, the second switch was San Diego. First switch was Phoenix. Phoenix. This is the San Diego car. Okay. That's why I had it lined up that way. That still works. Okay, we got our coil cars. Now we get the gondolas and then take them back to the yard. And all we really have left are the other cars that we delivered that aren't processed. So we won't be taking those here by the end of the day. But we'll let those other ones process. Literally the 5 industries we just dumped off at the beginning of the stream. All right, we're going to hold F11 down. Get in the driver's seat, I guess. Those aren't moving. Oh, it's because I'm in the MU. See right here, I don't have control. Pop those on. Yeah, it won't let me do it. We're moving. Stop and see if it does it here in run 8. Nope. Can't do it from here. You have to go outside the cab and, you know, put on there that you want this to be the lead. Normally you would just switch these two up, which gives you control access here, but you'd need to go to the one behind and turn them off. So that's the remote, the MU. That'd be cool if that worked here, if that transferred your control power to here. Beside the whistle board, and if you're going under 40, then at the whistle board you put your bell on. Flying drop. Yeah, I've heard there's a Dutch drop as well. I got my flashlight on. But flying drop makes sense as well. How are you doing, Bob? Make sure that I clear the other track over here. Yeah, we're good. All right. Just do a little handbrake test. And stop right away. We're good. The coupler, and let's get out of here. Now these are empties. This is just transfer service, and there's like really no grade. So we're gonna put these here where the loads are. But these will get put on road power down at the LAJ C yard when they make it there. They'll actually get pulled over to B and put on a. They'll build a train from all the locals there. But we can't do that now because we still have, you know, 5-6 cars over here in the industries. But they'll be empties. They'll go in the rear of that cut we just brought. Wait, I cut the wrong San Diego car off, didn't I? Cut one too many cars off. Guys, freaking coil car here. I was looking at the symbols wrong. Wasting fuel now. Yeah, P-test, right? Well, I didn't have any accident. I just left this one here by itself. And if I'm running on a remote pack here with no conductor, you know, nobody knows. Not like there's cameras anywhere. But we did a handbrake on 3 of those. Let's put this one and we'll take this one off. Now we'll do the same thing. We'll just move over a set. Yeah, we didn't bend any metal. We didn't put no wheels in the dirt. Well, I think we're okay. We're okay. We don't need to take a P-test. Well, if I had to, you know. Don't let me. I don't think it works that way either. You got to take a P-test. I don't think anybody can go, nah, you're okay. Yeah, you're good. We're just kidding. All right, handbrake's off. Let's go ahead and push the stack back a little bit. We got the power back to about right here. And then we have that other power sitting over there where the industry is being processed. So those cars, a handful of cars, and a dozen, half a dozen. Can make their way here. Handbrake, handbrake, and we'll put a handbrake on one of the cars, not delete. So we'll shut that one down, and we'll shut that one down, and that's it. So if we look, we've got everything here. That's the one we just dropped off at the beginning. It's got to process 24 hours, those two. So now we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Where the power is 10, 11. So, I was, when I said a dozen, missed it by one. We got 11 cars to come back to the yard, and then those can move on to the LAJC yard for the outbound train. We've got everything else, and it will be 12, by the way, possibly 13, because 12 would be right here. This one's got to get pulled out of that. And then we have this one right here, an empty propane tank or something. So those will need to be gotten. And and then brought all the way over here to the C yard. It's completely empty, as you see in the front view mirror right here, the windshield. So there's pickups to be made here as well. Taco Bell looks pretty happy, so there's only 3 there. Yeah, so there's still pickups due at C yard. Once we do those pickups, we'll combine the Malabar train. We'll pull it over here. These are outbounds, I think. Those are San Diego's. These are not. And then all this still has to get sorted out too. So we'll probably come back and do that next week. But do we have any? We don't have anything in the industries here at LAJB. So C's got pickups. B has just basically deliveries. And then LA West has pickups as well that need to be done and deliveries. This is the 2271 local. We'll take a look-see back here. Let's see what we got in the yard. So this is 51s. So these are C yard stuff. 2281 C yard stuff. 51 is here. 71 is where we were just looking at LA West over that way. So yeah, there's still some deliveries to do. And that's good. And then, of course, if we move over to, let me Alt-Tab to get out of big. If we go over here to the La Mirada yard, there's still the 61s. We got pickups and deliveries here at La Mirada. We got all tracks are full here. I mean, these are outbounds heavies, or yeah, they're in the wrong order now. But we have to get those reversed around, the empties from those. These are a mixture as well. So as long as they're not intermixed, we can deal with them. And then let's see if we have the siding over here. Yeah, so this, like this is more stuff for the 111. They didn't have enough room to put it in the yard, so they parked it there. And that I usually use that for San Diego outbounds anyways from La Mirada. So that's absolutely fine. And then we'll bring the outbounds up here. So we got a coal train here. UP coal train. And then if we head down to Port Free, we fly over there. It's actually faster if we go instead of flying through the mountains. Take a peek over here and see what we got standing by here. Our cars in the yard. Let's yeah, I already relinquished. Turn off the lights on this thing. Must have left them on. 2 weeks ago we were here, so there are deliveries here as well that need to be done. We got the 171s that go that way and the 141s that go this way, for the most part, except for what's here just off the yard. And I think we picked everything up. Don't see anything in the lumber yard. But we had picked everything up. Now we got some more deliveries to do, get processed, and those will need to go. Well, let's go. Let's watch this coal train go by as we make our way out of here. Simulator Sundays. Thank you again for showing up. Everybody that showed up today. We had quite a few of you. And we'll be back next Sunday for more. You catch me on, is that not playing? You catch me on Twitch on Wednesday nights too. I'll see something different. 5 p.m. on the West Coast. You're welcome. Always fun. Get me at 5 p.m. on the West Coast on twitch.tv/KungfuBeer. Or right back here on the YouTube channel. You'll find basically what I do on Twitch comes out on YouTube on Friday, 10 a.m. Basically just push it to Twitch over. Doing Max Payne. We're going to complete Max Payne. I don't know how many more missions we need to do, but when we do complete that, we're moving on to the original Red Dead Redemption. Not Red Dead 2, but Red Dead Redemption. And single player. That's all they had back then. Play Red Dead 2 online on stream, but never Red Dead Redemption. So that'll be new to me. I played it on the Xbox a long time ago, but can't do it with a controller. So we will see you guys next Sunday for more Simulator Sunday. I hope everybody has a great week. We'll see you next time. Take care.